What did I learn this week? Hello owners, this is John Butt again. Did you know this is episode 70? Have you been counting? I've been keeping score. It's kept me busy for a while. Anyway, it's a Friday. I thought it'd be good to talk about what I've learned this week, because always be learning, I think, is an important strategy. There are many others. Always be testing, always be this, always be that. I don't like the always be selling. I'm sorry, you can always be marketing, but you should always be learning. And by learning, I just mean listening. Listening for little nuggets from people that you can apply to your business that can help you. It's generally free. So what did I learn? For example, I follow a guy called James Wedmore. Fantastic video YouTube strategy guy, and he's done very well with his business. He uses exactly these methods, so I listen to him. Strangely, I was listening to him being interviewed on a podcast by someone else I follow. It turns out that person learned all their video skills from James, which is nice to know, a bit of social proof. But he mentioned one little tactic that I instantly applied to my fire business. Now, he talked about the titles in your YouTube videos. We produce product videos for our fire safety business, and say for instance a product video for a 2 kilogram powder fire extinguisher. Generally, the title would be that, because we'd be aiming for the keyword, and that is a keyword term. However, if you think about it, when you look in YouTube, if you're looking for a video, you don't just want to know about that, you want to know something about it, something specific. If you wanted to know all the facts or the price or anything like that, you'd probably be looking in Google. But if you're in YouTube, you want to see something visual. So we changed it to something, for instance, as how big is a 2 kilogram powder fire extinguisher, because it's a one that you'd use for home or something like that. Or how easy is it to use something like that. You imagine if that comes up in a list of titles in YouTube, that's probably a little bit more intriguing. You can take other things. For instance, a bell, a hand bell, fire alarm bell. How loud is a da-da-da-da? Smoke alarm. How sensitive? Which is the best, etc. Those little snippets of additions or modifiers are going to make a big difference to our click-throughs in our videos. That's one thing I learned. Second one, Amy Porterfield, someone else I follow, learn a lot about Facebook marketing and how to get people from Facebook into an email list, into lead generation. She brought out, she also uses Lead Pages. I use Lead Pages. Lead Pages is a wonderful tool for lead capture. She showed a demonstration of how she sets up a lead page. And one little snippet was how she sets up her thank you page at the end. Now, we tended to use the plain as supplied thank you page, but since that, we've changed up our lead page strategies, and we now develop our own custom thank you pages. Again, something hadn't been really considered. It's where you go into the nth degree and every little bit matters. Now, what else? For instance, yesterday I was at a strategic coach meeting. This is quarterly. We go to, I'm a member of Strategic Coach, fabulous, big boon to my business. And people were asking about my podcast. It turns out I'm the only one who does a podcast. A lot of other people have considered it, but it sounds very technical. It sounds difficult. And trust me, I'm lazy. Remember I've mentioned that? If it was difficult, and I'm not technical, if it's difficult, I would not be doing it. But once you've done something, you know how easy it is. Working with iTunes sounds quite complicated. iTunes don't actually do anything. They are an aggregator. You give them a feed, it can be explained, and they just automatically look at that feed and see what's there. They don't actually host your podcast, by the way. So I could explain how it really works. Now, I never knew that before I started, but once you get going, it's okay. And people listening intently. I suddenly discovered if I could get people into small groups and talk to them and answer the questions, then I get a lot better response than a vast scattergun effect to a big crowd. So I am going to possibly start up some local marketing meetup, possibly in the London area, maybe even one in Vancouver when I'm over there. But also, I'm going to be adding into the free membership side of the website some free regular webinars and office hours and question sessions or question answer sessions. That taught me that. That taught me that that's something people want to do. I've done this before, by the way, and previously in marketing, and people were very interested. But that particular thing I was doing on behalf of another organisation that I was a member of, and they folded, they packed in, and so that kind of died a death. It wasn't mine, so I couldn't carry on with it. But that's something else I learn. Now, I learn every day. I want you to be learning. These things are little snippets that you pick up, you might read in a book. I've probably learned lots more, by the way, but I try to keep these down in time. So your weekend challenge is, what did you learn this week? So remember, pad or piece of paper and a pen. We don't do this electronically because when you put pen to paper, it engages the brain, it sinks in more, you learn more and you remember more and you retain more. So write down 5 things that you learned this week from any source. It could be from one of your staff, it could be from yourself. 5 things that you learned that can be or have been applied in your business. And I'll give you a minimum of 3, and for those naughty ones who can't come up with 5, I want you to add, and in actual fact everyone else can add, I want you to add 3 sources where you think you may be able to learn things for free, easily. A source could be a book, a particular book, by the way, not just a book, name a book, a podcast, name a podcast. Yes, you can include this. Please subscribe, makes it so much easier, and then please give me a rating and a review, because then I know what you think. Or it could be a social media, say a LinkedIn group, a Facebook group, a Google Plus community. So that's what I want you to write. It won't take you long. And then next week, I'd like you to try implementing. Because if we don't do, we don't get. Have yourself a fabulous weekend. I'll speak to you next week.